Hi folks, this is Jay. Hope you're okay today. It's good to see you. I've been reading this on my day off, In Defense of the Enlightenment by Todorov. And he is a philosopher, and I'm enjoying reading it. After my Socrates, Life of Socrates and Life of Descartes, this is my next book that I've been reading. It's about the Enlightenment, and I just want to read, say something and then read something. One of the things that he talks about is in the Enlightenment, the Enlightenment thinkers felt that truth is something that no one should be allowed to manipulate, not the state, not individuals. That truth is truth, and one should investigate it and find what the truth is. So what that meant is in education, it should not be the state should not manipulate education where it tries to manipulate the truth, etc. Okay, so this truth concept was at the heart of the Enlightenment project, which I think is borrowed from the Christian faith. You know, Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth and the life." So there was the concept of truth in terms of Christianity, but in the Enlightenment, truth is just whatever's true, whether it be scientific, whether it be historical, etc. But anyhow, he says this: moralism, which involves the subjugation of a search for truth to the needs of the good, is much older than the Enlightenment, and is directly opposed to its spirit, and yet it has already clearly survived it. This can be illustrated by the debate in France about the writing of 20th century history that has transfigured periodically in recent past. In 2005, a group of deputies introduced a bill concerning the interpretation given to French colonial enterprise, and in particular the occupation of Algeria. One of the articles stipulated school programs must, in quotes, recognize the positive role of the French presence abroad, especially in North Africa, end of quote. The bill was passed on the 23rd of February 2005 and was reconfirmed by a majority of deputies on 29th of November the same year. In this way, a reading of the pass was submitted to a vote and acquired force of law, which meant that anyone who opposed it would be brought to court, like the Church in the 17th century, prohibiting Galileo from the free pursuit of truth. Here were French deputies in the 21st century prescribing the content of historical study to historians and to students and professors who benefited from their research. Hume's warnings were clearly forgotten. Truth here was being designated by a vote. I find that very, very interesting, because one of the things about the secular religious issue in America and in Europe today is that the secular must be kept away from the religious, and coupled with an aggressive secularist agenda pushed by these militant hardcore atheists like Richard Dawkins, for example, has created a lot of tension, especially in the area of intelligent design movement. Those scientists who believe that they feel that you can find design in nature which shows there's a God, and there's been an advocacy of the intelligent design being brought into schools, and there have been a massive pushback against this by militant atheists and secularists who just don't agree with this. But the question is this: are we interested in truth? And truth cannot be manipulated. And if that's the case, then the issue of intelligent design should be allowed in schools. this body of knowledge that's being found and explored, whether the people agree with it or not, should be discussed in schools. And whatever is the truth will stand. And whatever is not the truth will not stand. But if you are manipulating the education system to suit your perspective, then you're distorting what would be the truth. I think postmodernism today has lost a little bit of its cutting edge, but there is a sense that with postmodernism there is no real truth. But there is at the same time a vanguard of secularists, and some of them are hardcore atheists who don't buy into this postmodernism, that believe that there are facts and evidence and truth, etc. Okay? But I would say that both of these areas are dangerous, because the postmodernism is denying that you can find truth, and then the hardcore atheists are manipulating truth. They're saying, well, we think this is the truth, and you're not allowed to look at anything else. Is a manipulation, and it's a destruction of the early Enlightenment ideas that were in Europe. As Hume says, Hume's warnings were clearly forgotten. In quotes, truth here was being designated by a vote. People should just be allowed to explore and discover and make up their own minds, basically, and what they see as truth will be the truth, and in other words, the truth will stand. But if you don't give people the opportunity to study intelligent design in school, how are they going to be able to make up their mind? You're denying them the right to find truth. It's not for the state to dictate what is the truth. It's for the state to provide an education for people to discover what they think is the truth. Alright? Otherwise, you're manipulating their minds and distorting the truth. That's what I've been reading in this philosopher. Alright? I don't agree with everything. He's a secularist, I think, but he's just bringing up some interesting thoughts. Alright, take care, God bless. Please let me know what you think.